So the portfolio is currently up 10% on the day. I'm consistently compounding the account. I'm not taking huge position sizes, and I'm letting the big percentage returns of the contracts do the work for me instead of my cash. With that being said, I am going to show you how we're able to consistently make money within the stock market by trading these put options. I'm going to show you the strategies that I ended up using today to buy these put options, the contracts at the lows when the stock was sitting at the highs. How was I able to know that HYMC was going to crash? I alerted at 9:32 a.m. This was all streamed live within Trader Society that I bought HYMC puts at 57 cents, which was the low on these contracts. And at the time, that was the high of the stock price. And you could see it's all premeditated trading because within my watch list that I sent out within Trader Society at 8:38 a.m. in the pre-market, I had prepared members that I'm very interested in shorting this today. Let's see if the 2.5 at the money strike is liquid and has a tight spread. I'll be looking to play for the gap to fill below, which is insane because we had members play this both ways. I got to give a big shout out to the guy who's consistently killing it every single day. He ended up buying HYMC yesterday, swing trading it for a 95% profit return, and he locked in his profits in the pre-market because he understands when to sell. He understands when to lock in his gains. And then we started going heavy towards the puts as soon as the market opened. And we didn't stop there because I'm 3 for 3 on the day. You could see right here, PARA. What did I tell you guys in yesterday's video? What did I tell you guys within the watch list? PARA was going to be a phenomenal shorting opportunity when it goes back. Here it is within the watch list. Let's scroll up right here. As you can see, right here, alerted at 8:18 a.m. You can see right here, PAA currently gapping down 1%. There's a gap to fill above at 35.77. I'd be very interested in adding heavy into my put options once the gap from 35.77 is filled and reacts as a resistance. This is the number one setup for today. Those puts went up over 50% from the day when we got in. And that's not the first time we did that. We did that yesterday, back to back. And guess who's planning to do it again? I am. I'm planning to do this again. I'm planning to hit 3 for 3 tomorrow with some size as I'm expecting this stock to get crushed within time. I'm going to keep rinsing these puts. I'm still holding some as well. With that being said, I didn't stop there. Keep in mind, that was alerted at 9:35 a.m. Let's take a look at PARA stock when the high was. Where was the high on PARA? Let's see. Where was the high of day? The high of day was right here at 9:32 a.m. I'm literally alerting these nearly at the top. Where was the high on HYMC? Oh, let's see. The high was exactly at market open. I alerted this at 9:32 a.m. Where was the high on Bumble today? Because this is where I went 3 for 3. Couldn't stop there with a quick 30% return. Where was the high on Bumble? Let's take a look at the Bumble put option from the video watch list that I sent out yesterday, from the watch list that I posted right here on Bumble. You can see I'm very interested. The best level to short is in between 22 to 22.40. We watched it rip on stream. And we said, you know what? This is looking bullish right now. Let's wait for a better price. And that's exactly what we did. With the updated price action analysis, we were able to buy Bumble puts, as you can see right here, alerted at 10:15 a.m. We bought those Bumble puts. Right here is 10:15 a.m. Right before it had this massive drop. Within that massive drop, those contracts went up over 30%. And if you were to hold through even the bigger move, or if you were to even get back in, you could have made over 60%. I had people making over 50% on Bumble puts. I had people making 50% on Para puts. I had people making 50% on HYMC puts. That's 3 opportunities to buy puts towards the top. I am going to show you how we're able to consistently make money in the stock market while investors are losing money, bag holding these stocks, buying the dip down over 50%, tying their money up into a bag. Investing is great and you do have to do it, but you're not going to see your life change if you're investing into stocks until like 40 years. So in the meantime, you have to focus on increasing your income and compounding your trading account. I have a trading account and I have an investing account. In terms of where all the wealth is coming from for the short-term gains, right? It's from the trading. And then the long-term wealth is created within the investments. But if you compound the trading account, you will see long-term results exponentially as well if you are consistent, within this. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how we're able to know when a stock is going to crash towards the highs, how we're able to know when to buy these put options, because we're consistently killing it. We've been doing this every single day for over a month now. Like, the consistency is absolutely insane. We got people within Trader Society. Got to give a big shout out to my guy here every single day. He's killing it. He starts off the morning with $2,700 profit. He doesn't stop there. Riser, 3 days in a row now. 3 days in a row. I've seen your account. You've been making nearly a 3% return 3 days. 3 days in a row compounded. Continue to do that. Continue to compound your account. Set a goal for 1%. That's all we really need is 1%. There's a big difference between 1 and 2%. All you need is 1%, and your life will begin to change in one single year of consistently using this strategy and staying disciplined. So continue to keep up the great work, Riser. Nicely done. $445 profit. Account is up 6%. Very nice. Same guy. Ended up doing 150 put options, made a $5,000 profit on the para put options, up over 7K on the day. Tyler, man, I just saw you killing it the other day. Now you're here with the para put options, making a $6,000 profit. I got people joining this program, making over 10 times the cost of the program on one single trade. It's like the value is unreal. I'm telling you, man, I got a guy right now. We're investing into advertising, like Google advertising, YouTube advertising, stuff like that, to invest back into the company to grow it. He thinks I'm absolutely insane in terms of like the value I'm giving and at the price point. He's like, man, you can charge like thousands of dollars for this every single year if you wanted to. So like I said, right now it's lifetime access and it's a one-time fee. As time goes on, that might change. The price might go up. It might become recurring, but you will be grandfathered in if you do decide to get in Trader Society now. This is the lowest the price will ever be. But I got to give a big shout out to all my people, man, because they've been consistent. They've been killing it. The returns have been insane. 75% return on HYMC puts. I love it, man. This guy's, he's just continuously hits big percentage wins with a small account, and it adds up to thousands to even tens of thousands every single month. You just keep hitting those, rinse and repeat. He's killing it with multiple counts. He knows what he's doing. He's using this strategy. A team work. Very nice. $700 profit. So you guys are killing it. Let's get right into the strategies. I'm also going to be sharing with you my updated plan. I'm going to be sharing with you my updated plan on how I'm personally planning to make 5 figures on PARA put options tomorrow. That's going to be my top watch. We're going to be addressing some very important market updates. The SPY is showing signs of a short-term reversal. It is showing signs that we can see a very nice reversal for the time being. So I'm going to be discussing on, whether the bulls are going to take control or whether the bears are going to take control. I'm going to prepare you for the upcoming trading setups, but let's get right into, the price action analysis in the stock watch list. So with that being said, let's start off with, recapping these trades right here, right? So let's just kind of recap these trades. Why was I bearish on all these stocks? Why did I decide to buy put options, which is pretty crazy that all of these printed, considering that a lot of stocks ripped up today and SPY was ripping up today as well, but all of our puts printed. So with that being said, in terms of HYMC, for those of you within Trader Society, the more advanced version is in the video lesson library. Make sure you go and watch that because it's going to go over the gap fill strategy. This is called a gap fill strategy. So what you're going to want to do is find a stock that has a massive gap up. Once it's trading at key resistance, once it looks very, very bearish, you're going to want to short the stock or buy the put options. In terms of the small caps, you can buy put options if the strike isn't too far out of the money. If the spread is thin, like this one was, we were buying these when it was at 60, at 57 cents. They're worth $1.10 now. With that being said, as long as the strike is close to the stock price, meaning, it's slightly out of the money, or if it's at the money, or if it's like basically barely in the money, then you could play it as long as it's a tight spread, has liquidity, has volume. So this fit the picture, right? So I was looking at this chart and I said, okay, this went from 265 all the way down to $1.29. So what does that tell me? That tells me in 2 days, this stock has huge downside potential from $2.65, meaning if it cracks 265, it's going to be a great short. So I'm looking at this in the pre-market and I'm saying, this is looking bearish. It's failing to break above this 3 keyhole round number. It had a massive pullback from 297 to 234 already. It's forming new lower highs. It's just failing to break out. It looks like it's struggling. So I said, I'm going to give this a shot. As soon as the market opens, because it's forming the new lower highs, it's forming the bearish candlesticks. Look at the gravestone dojis, these gray candlesticks towards key resistance, very, very bearish. And like I said, once it cracks 265, you could see right here, this is a key level, 265. If the stock goes above 265 and breaks out, when it goes back down to 265, if it cracks that, that means it's going to be a fake out. It's going to be very, very bearish. It's going to lose its gains. It's going to come back to earth. It's going to come back to reality, come back to the ground to fill this gap below. There's a gap to fill below at $1.39, meaning if 265 cracks and reacts as a resistance level, it's going to push back down to fill this gap below. So I was playing it as key resistance, key breakdown play. Once I identified it was bearish in the pre-market, once I identified it was forming new lower highs, once I identified it cracked 260s immediately, this was going to be a bearish play to start to fill the gap below. So that's how I was able to do that, by using the daily chart, by studying the fake outs within the pre-market price action, by understanding this is just holding up on thin air. There's really no support. Once it cracks your support here at like 230, your next support level isn't until 197. Once 197 cracks, there is no support. It's just going to start to fill that gap below at 139. So you want to look for stocks that have huge downside potential with the massive gap ups. This has no support. When it cracks 230, that's a huge downside potential, huge drop to 190. When it cracks 190, there's the next support level is all the way down here at like 115, right? And you can see it nearly filled the gap. So that is the gap fill strategy. That's some of the basics to it. That's why I was interested in puts. That's why I alerted the puts. That's why I shared the puts within the watch list. Another crazy play we had within the watch list. I didn't play this one, but this was a phenomenal opportunity on the long side. Shopify. You're not going to be able to catch them all. I call it 3 for 3 on these. And the entries and exits were phenomenal. You couldn't have gotten better entries on all 3 of those. So for Shopify, I said if 520 can turn into support, this can seriously run to 550, which it did. So we're going to be talking about the potential I saw in this, so you can get to learn these strategies, how I'm able to create these watch lists and stuff like that. But that was kind of the trade recap in a sense for HYMC using the gap fill strategy. Now let's talk about the next one. The next one was PARA. So what am I seeing in this? So if you watched my previous video, you should already be well aware of this. We gave out the trading plan within yesterday's video. There was a gap to fill right here, and this was a gap close reversal to fill the gap below. So this is a similar strategy to the one we just talked about with HYMC, except this time it fills the gap. So it fills the gap this time. And then if it has a reversal, if it forms resistance at this 35.99 level, we're going to be interested in shorting the stock. We're going to be interested in buying puts because it's got huge downside potential. It likes to fake out at this level. It likes to quickly go back down to fill these gaps below. And there's a gap to fill below at 32.62. So we're playing for a gap close reversal to then fill the gap below. You can swing trade it and you can day trade. I think this is going to be a great swing trade. So in the pre-market, I'm looking at this and I said, okay, gap down. So if it rips back up to the previous closing price, the PCP strategy, the gap close reversal strategy, the gap method, if it rips back up, which it did, you could see a gap down and then it ripped back up to fill the gap. Once that level right here reacts as a resistance level, and as soon as I saw this gravestone doji hit 36 as well, which was key resistance nearly towards the highs yesterday with big downside potential to 34.70, I'm looking at this and I'm saying it's forming new lower highs. It formed a gravestone doji. As soon as we saw this gravestone doji form, we literally started buying puts just 3 minutes after I bought the puts after that gravestone doji. And that gravestone doji was the high of day on PARA. So when you see that graveyard candlestick, a key resistance, the stock is going to have a trend reversal. That is the best candlestick you can use for shorting a stock, for identifying a trend reversal candlestick. The dojis are key trend reversal candlesticks. So use key trend reversal candlesticks, key trend reversal indicators, treat key trend reversal confirmations at the key levels, and you will be shocked on the returns you can make on a situation like this, because this is a stock where this can have a big sell-off at this level, which it did. It ended up cracking yesterday's lows, going into the 3440s, which is insane. The puts were up over easily 50% at one point as we were buying them towards the highs. So that's what I noticed on that one. Once it identified as resistance, once it identified this key level as resistance, very, very bearish. And like I said, it's all on the daily chart. So in terms of where do we stand and what's the upcoming trading plan for this one, the daily chart is looking very bearish. So the plan is to add tomorrow. That's the plan. The plan is to add to the put options tomorrow, the March 25th $35 strike. That's the plan for tomorrow. I'm still holding some. I locked in some gains, still holding 30% left, planning to add on these tomorrow. So in terms of where do I plan to add? So a key level is going to be the previous closing price, 35.22. If I see that react as a resistance level, I'll be looking to add at a slightly lower price. So 35.22. If it gaps down tomorrow, $35.21. You see 35.21 react as a resistance level, it's going to be a great opportunity to get puts. If 35.20 can turn into resistance, we should see a crack of 34.50. Once 34.50 cracks, the next support level, the next drop is going to be to 33.60, 33.70 to start locking in some gains. And then there is a swing trading opportunity where this could hit $33 to $32.60 by next Monday. Overall, this is still a great opportunity to buy puts as it hasn't crashed that much from the key level and it has huge downside potential to fill the gap below. So the plan is if 35.20 reacts as a resistance level tomorrow, we're going to look to buy the puts. If it doesn't, wait towards 35.77. That'd be the next level to wait for. If we see some resistance at that level, then we're going to look to add there. So we'll see how it reacts, but this is definitely on high level of interest to rebuy the puts as we now have the red bearish candlestick coming in on the daily and we have the gap to fill below and it's topping out. It's having its gap close reversal. Had a gap close reversal here. The strategy worked yesterday with the gap close reversal. And then we did it again. Same exact strategy. The gap close reversal with the new gap. It works again. Back to back, and then watch me do it again tomorrow. Third time's the charm. So with that being said, looking to hit 3 times in a row on PARA. That's going to be my top watch for tomorrow. I'm telling you, that stock drops $1 from your entry. The puts go up 50% plus. It's fucking crazy. So that is PARA, and that's the recap in that. And then Bumble, man. Bumble's another one, just like PARA. It's a money printing machine, man. What I'm doing is with Bumble, what I'm doing with Para is I'm finding these stocks that are having massive gap ups. I wait for the confirmation that they're on the back side of the move. Once they're on the back side of the move, I'm buying puts at their key resistance levels. And then I'm rinsing those puts, and then I can leave some on if I want. If I'm looking to swing trade, aim for a bigger win, and leave a little bit on. And then I'm rinsing those puts for profits on the dips. And then when they rip back up, I add back with the profits and compound the account, and it grows exponentially over time. You'd be surprised on the results you can get in just one single year. It's possible to go from 0 to 6 figures within this market trading options. With that being said, Bumble is setting up for another put opportunity. So for this one, it closed at 22.73. There's a lot of resistance at 23.10. So tomorrow, let's see how it reacts. Let's see if we can get some resistance at 22.73. If so, it's going to be a put. If not, I'll see how it reacts at 23.10. If it looks bearish there, I'll consider a put. If not, then the next key level for Bumble is going to be towards $24.70. That's going to be the next level. The main trend that I've been using with this one is whenever it has a morning spike, I let it spike for about 2 points. And then once it spikes for about 2 points, I buy the puts. For example, right here, it had a morning spike. It spiked about 2 points. Right here, it had a morning spike. It spiked a couple of points very quickly. Right here, it had a morning spike. It spiked 2 points. Right here, it had a morning spike. You can see every single time this has a morning spike, it loses its gains. So it's just about identifying the key level to buy the puts. In terms of the trade recap, why did I decide to buy puts today at, what was it, 10:15 a.m.? I alerted that. Let's see. Go to Will Alerts, and then we go right here, Bumble put options at 10:15 a.m. Why did I decide to do that? So I was looking at this trend, right? And I noticed yesterday it had a morning spike, and it spiked from 20.66 to 22.40. So basically it spiked 2 points very, very quickly in the morning. It's not the first time it did that. It did it right here. You could see it spiked from 22.90 to 25.30 very, very quickly in the morning. So what happened today? The same exact pattern. Now, it's not just about the pattern, it's about understanding this stock is on the backside of the move. It's trying to go back down, pushing low lows to fill this gap below. So about doing this with the backside of the move. It's not just finding a stock and saying, oh, so it's having a morning spike, let's short the morning spike because it's consistently failing out that. There's much more to it than that. I'm adding all these different variables. That's just one thing that I'm noticing within the pattern, within the trend of this specific stock. So this strategy was slightly different than the gap strategies. I will say that in terms of how I traded it today, but this is a gap fill strategy where we've been playing for this gap to fill below, just milking it, rinsing the puts. With that being said, you could see right here, it had a gap up. As soon as it filled the gap, it had a reversal. So it had a gap close reversal. It bottomed at the gap fill level, the PCP strategy, and then it shot up and had its morning spike. And then I was looking at this and I'm saying, okay, your next key overall level is going to be towards 23 as this was ripping up. So I said, since this just blew past 22s like it was nothing, which was key resistance from yesterday and the day before that on Friday, let's wait until the next overall level, which is this key $23 level. You could see there's some big upside potential at 23. So if 23 reacts to the resistance level, it's going to have a big downside move, and that history is going to repeat itself where it has that morning spike and then it sells off. That happened right here, morning spike sells off. That happened right here, morning spike sells off. And then it happened 3 times in a row. It had the morning spike and it did end up selling off at some point in time. So with that being said, once I identified that, I measured the move, right? So I measured the move. I said, okay, it typically likes to spike about 2 points. So it spiked about 2 points. And then I said, okay, well, let's see how it reacts because like I said, right here, This is, look at this, $22.80 to $23. This used to be support with big upside. It's been cracking that level. So if it pushes back up to 22.80, 23 and reacts as a resistance, it's going to have a big downside move and lose its gains from the spike. So once I identified that $23 was a resistance level, and I was able to do that by using the candlesticks, I'm looking at the bearish pins. I'm looking at saying, oh, wow, we got a nice double top here. This looks very bearish with the pins. I'm looking at the squeeze indicator. It's turning dark blue. When this turns dark blue, the stock sells off. Look at this. The moment this turns dark blue, look at this. This is dark blue right here. That's the high of day candle. That was literally the high of day candle at the time. If you were to buy puts literally right there, you could have made a 40% return. I ended up making 30%, and I sold 70% right here. And then I sold the rest when it started to pop a little bit higher for an 8% win. I was trying to aim for the bigger move, and that bigger move did come. I just didn't want to hold through it because I thought the puts were going to go red, and they would have gone red. So it's a good thing I got out because I would have been down on the rest. But the big move did happen, and the big move did work in the favor. It went all the way to 21.68. The puts would have been up over 70%. I had some people hold; they were up over 60%. But yeah, I still think this is going to be a great play for the April 14th puts. I still stand by that. But tomorrow's going to be a very, very important day for a Bumble. We could see something like this where it has the morning spike and then it just sells off. That's what I'm thinking. It has a spike and then it just sells off and then it starts getting wrecked. So that's going to be a top watch. So that was the trade recap. I hope you guys get a better understanding of the strategies. I hope you're really watching these videos so you get the value, so you really understand like how these strategies are working. Because I'm telling you, like the amount of money we've been able to make in the returns, it's been like, this is like life-changing. I'm talking like life-changing within just one single year, like a full 180, your whole life can turn around. So CLOV turned micro bullish. Like I said, I'm interested in buying puts at 309. When this stock hits 309, if it reacts as a resistance level, I'm buying the puts, man. That's the game plan. Wait for it to fill the gap at 309, buy the puts when it reacts as a resistance level, ride it back down to 266. How much money will you make on the puts if it works out and hits that target? You're looking at a 50% plus return. That's the game plan for CLOV. Very interested in that one. Going to give myself about one month of time, and I'll get a $3 strike. Look to buy those puts at like 309 with a stop at like 320s. So that's the game plan for that. That's going to be a top setup. CVX is experiencing the backside of the move. We've been talking about, shorting this one. You could see right here, the blue squeeze has now triggered, which is very, very bearish. This is the first day. So what I'm looking for this one is I'm looking for the gap to fill. If we can get a gap built 166.72, if we could start forming resistance at 166.72, see how that was previous support, or if we can get some resistance even at 161. I'll be very interested in playing a midterm put on this where I give myself probably about 60 days, ride this back down to fill the gaps below. There's a gap to fill below at 149. There's a gap to fill below at 144. There's a gap to fill below at 135.50. This stock should get crushed within the next 60 days. So from here, I think it's getting ready to be on the backside of the move. So I'm just hoping for a spike. I want it to spike back. I want it to go back up, try to fill these gaps, see some bearish confirmations, see some wicks, and then I want to buy the puts. That's the game plan on that. But we had the right mindset. We had the right mindset on that for CVX. So hopefully it rips back up and we don't miss out, but we definitely had the right mindset on that play and we're on the right side of the move. EBIX is another one I'm interested in. So for this one, it's going to be a April 14th put option, $30 strike. It has low volume, but the spread is actually thin on these, which is great. So this is something I am interested in. It's not going to be on a heavy size, but once this can crack and turn this key 31.89 level into a resistance level, we're going to be looking at a very nice pullback. It's due for a gap fill play. It's really due for a push to $27. Those puts will print once it cracks 30. So the game plan is once this stock cracks 31.89 to buy the puts to short the stock. It should get crushed. Keep in mind, it's not going to be as big and rapid as a crash, as it has lost volume, it has lost volatility. But that's great in terms of, it continuing to fall, because when these stocks are held up on thin air with these massive moves and they lose their volume, they sell off. So this stock should get crushed. I'm just waiting for the key breakdown play on that. That should be a good passive income play along with the CVX play we talked about. Now let's talk about SPY. SPY is getting a little interesting. I'm looking at this daily chart, and this daily chart is potentially showing signs of a reversal on the SPY, where it can potentially continue to go up within some time and hit at least $432, maybe even potentially higher. The SPY is beginning to look a little bit bullish here on the daily. It looks like it's trying to squeeze, in my opinion. You could see right here, and this is the crazy part. I told you guys, if you watch my previous videos, people were asking me, like, where should I buy SPY if you're interested in buying calls? 416.25. I told them, wait for the gap to fill 416.25. You want to buy SPY? That's where you buy it. One of the lower gaps at key support with big upside potential. You could see history repeat itself. As soon as the stock filled the gap below, it bottomed at the key level. The exact low was 415.79, literally directly at the gap close reversal level. And it had a reversal and it shot back already towards the higher end of the channel, forming a green bullish candlestick. With that being said, a lot of stocks for the micro are looking like they're due for trend reversals, and they're looking like they're going to pop within some time. Not saying right away. It's just the way things are looking now from a technical view. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the bullish side. I trade puts the best. That's what I do best, is murdering these stocks, is shorting these stocks, is buying to put options. That's what I do best. But I do trade both ways. So we'll have to see if there's going to be an upcoming trade with the call. I'm definitely put focused, though, at key resistance, because the whole market sentiment is bearish. And the puts have been printing at those key resistance levels using these gap strategies. So that's going to be the main focus, of course, what I'm best at. And these small cap stocks have been killing it lately, too. But yeah, SPY had a gap close reversal. SPY had a nice gap close reversal. You could see right here, I'll show you, this had a very nice gap close reversal, and it's been ripping ever since. You could see the gap was right there. We talked about this in previous videos. As soon as it filled the gap, it had a reversal. Now it's ripping up, gapping up higher. And there is gaps to fill above. There's a gap to fill above at 432. There's a gap to fill above at 435. Another concern I have in terms of like, this whole situation right now is like the VIX looks very bearish. The VIX looks bearish. If the VIX collapses, the SPY is going to rise. And I'm telling you, like, I'm looking at this daily candle, and like, this is why, for those of you who stay to the end of these videos, you really do get rewarded with like the value in this information. Because like the way this is looking right now, it looks like VIX is going to be seeing some downside within some time. Like, yeah, it could pop back, it could spike back, but I'm talking about like overall trend wise, it looks like the VIX is really going to get whacked. Like, this daily chart looks absolutely horrific. You can even see there was like a gap to fill right here. It nearly filled it and then just sold off very, very hard. Just by studying the daily candle and how it reacts with that, just by looking at the history of the daily chart, it's just, I'm finding it very, very hard for the VIX to continue to run up. It looks really bearish. So with that being said, I can definitely see SPY within the future, like kind of holding up for a bit and ripping back up to 432 to 436, potentially to even 440s within times. I do believe that is possible. I'm getting to believe that we're starting to see a major sign of a trend reversal here, where the SPY can really start to rip up within some time. Like I said, I'm not doing what I used to do. I'm not swing trading these whole SPY puts. I'm not, YOLOing any money. I'm trading very like specific best setups, best prices at key levels only. I'm doing what's best for me. And like, I'm putting my situations where I feel fully in control, fully comfortable. I haven't even been trading the SPY lately. I haven't been finding the price action as good and as predictable. I've mainly just been trading stocks lately, and the results have been absolutely phenomenal. The SPY can be tough to trade at times. But with that being said, in terms of the charts and the way they're looking, anything can happen for the very short term, but it's beginning to look like we're going to see some overall micro reversal within some time, where the SPY continues to go higher and the VIX continues to go lower. That's my thoughts on this current situation right now. We could see some flip-flop for the whole short term. It's definitely possible, but overall, it does look like I don't think we're going to be cracking this. I don't think we're going to be cracking 410 anytime soon. I really don't. I think we're going to start to push back up. I think the SPY is really going to be on track to go to 432, 436, potentially even 440s, like sometime this year. It's definitely possible. I'm just saying though, like, I don't think we're cracking this 410 anytime soon. Right now, with how the VIX looks, with how everything looks, I think we're setting up for a squeeze here on SPY. And stocks are extremely oversold, and they are looking bullish for the micro. Like, just look at some of these charts. I mean, look at PayPal. PayPal is looking very, very bullish. This stock is due for a pop. I really like it long term as well. There's gaps to fill above. And if you just look at the chart, PayPal's at very key support. It's filling the gaps down here. It's having reversals. It's holding up very, very nicely. And PayPal looks like it's getting ready to pop. So if you see PayPal break out above 160, those calls should print for a nice trade. Once this breaks above 160, this should rip to like 105, 107. Within time for swing trading, it can go up to like 115. I'm very bullish on PayPal, and I'm really leaning more towards the bullish side of things from an overall standpoint right now. So Roku is a little interesting. It's at a key whole $100 round number like PayPal. It's becoming a little bit interesting. Just kind of keeping an eye on that, keeping it on the radar. You could see there's some gaps to fill right here at like 96.50, stuff like that. This is just something I got on the back burner. But yeah, keep an eye on that PayPal. That PayPal looks good. And then Shopify. Shopify from the watch list. It was that gap close reversal, guys. This is like phenomenal confirmation. I mean, just look at this. We had a gap to fill below on Shopify at 515.64. This was all called out within the watch list. Once it goes above 520, you're going to want to buy the calls, buy the stock. It ripped all the way to 560. The accuracy within that watch list was absolutely insane. That was a phenomenal play. And it does look like within some time, Shopify is going to see a gap to fill at 587 as everything is looking fairly bullish in my opinion. I do think within time we'll fill that gap at 587. Once it gets to 587, I'll look for a micro put short opportunity with a tight stop. Once we get the bearish confirmations, that's the top setup I'm looking into. And then Tesla. Tesla looks like it's getting ready to climb back up to fill this gap above at 858. Once it gets to 858, I'm going to be looking for that short-term micro put opportunity confirmation. But yeah, as of now, we could see some flip-flops for the short term, but overall, I do believe stocks are going to continue to go higher that follow the SPY. I think stocks are looking fairly bullish for the overall micro side of the move. Like I said, there could be some flip-flop in between, but overall standpoint, it looks like stocks are due for a pump. That's what it looks like in my opinion. So that's going to be the thoughts. That's going to be the analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot. And another one, let's end it with Lucid. Lucid looks really bullish, guys. It's all within the candles. Look at this candle here. Now compare it to this one. And it's at a lower price. It's more oversold. Keep an eye on Lucid. It looks like it's getting ready to pop, most likely tomorrow. Take a look at the chart. There were some gaps to fill below right here. It's having a gap close reversal. There was a gap to fill below on Lucid right here at 2117. Check this out. There was a gap to fill at 2117 right here. Let's see what the low of day was. The low of day was 2049. So it started to fill the gap. Once it turned into support, it started to shot back up. It started to shoot back up. And Lucid's having a gap close reversal. And there is a gap to fill above at 2521, which is where I'd be interested in puts. As of now, it looks like stocks are going to be trying within some time, not saying right away, within some time, trying to recover and fill those gaps that are waiting to fill above, like we discussed with Shopify, SPY, and stuff like that. That's where I stand. I stand bullish from the overall point of view. I think within time, they're going to be filling those gaps. I think there's going to be a lot of people who did very, very well with the put options. I think they're going to be giving it back. I really do. I really think people are going to start giving away some profits. They're going to start losing. They got too hyped up into all of this, euphoria and this winning streak and everything. I think people are going to start giving it back. Be very, very careful trading the SPY. I'm mainly focused on trading stocks right now. SPY only at key critical levels. Same thing with stocks, man. I'm only trading at these at the best key gap close reversal, the gap fill levels with the gap fill strategy, the gap close reversal strategy. That's what I'm doing. That's what's consistently making me money, not anything else. If you're doing anything else, that's not what I'm recommending. That's not what I'm telling people. This is what I'm doing to, see success, to see results. What I'm doing is the gap fill strategy, the gap close reversal strategy. Those two, the gap method combined, you can combine them together. That's what I'm doing, nothing else. I see people just doing support and resistance, which is just one part of the equation. In order to just do support and resistance, you have to have the gap strategies first. Then you do the support and the resistance, right? They're doing just support and resistance without the gap strategies. It just doesn't make any sense. I see people making that mistake. So just stick with the strategies. It's all taught within Trader Society in the video lesson library. Don't get caught off track. Stay disciplined. I'm telling you guys, the opportunity's here. What I have works. People are getting results. I have 2 people who've joined the program within the first 2 months. 2 people have made over 6 figures. One guy has now made over 200,000. Like, the results have been insane. My account's tripled in the past 40 days. Like, if you are serious about consistently making money within the stock market, you have to learn this gap trading system, this gap method strategy. I'm telling you, this price action will change your trading forever. You will see massive improvements in your trading. You'll be getting filled at the best entries possible. Your timing will be spot on. It's not gonna happen right away. You got to learn it. You got to gain experience with the strategy, but it's something where once you master and once it clicks and once you got it, you roll with it and you stick with that discipline, you compound the account. Once you have that formula, once you have that knowledge, once you have that consistency, that discipline, you start to gain confidence over time, your results will grow exponential. Like, it's insane, guys. I've seen it happen with my account. I've seen it happen with, members' accounts within Trader Society. I'm telling you, it's possible. It's not going to happen right away, but it is possible. Once you see it, once you get it, once it clicks, you gain that experience, you build confidence as you're successfully trading the strategy, you can see returns, and you could practice it at first. There's plenty of ways to paper trade options. You could paper trade options on Thinkorswim. You can practice options trading on Robinhood watch list. That's another way. There's plenty of ways to practice at first as well. But yeah, first you want to size in lately, gain some practice, gain some experience. But look, guys, if you're serious about making money, if you're serious about becoming an independent trader, a self-sufficient trader, someone who doesn't blindly follow alerts, someone who knows exactly when to get in, where to set the price target, where to set the stop loss. You want that trading plan, you want that trading strategy, you want that trading system, that risk management, that position sizing, the psychology, the mindset behind trading. If you're looking for that system, this is it. This is going to be the program, Trader Society. It's the first link down below in the description. You get lifetime access to the video lesson library that teaches the entire trading system, the gap method trading strategies, the price action trading strategies, the confirmation indicators we use, the mindset to trading, the risk management, the position sizing. Also get lifetime access to the live trading streams we do every single day at Market Open. If you want to watch me trade live every single day at Market Open, you get lifetime access to that. You also get lifetime access to the chat room. You also get lifetime access to the stock watch list, the stock analysis, the real-time alerts, one-on-one direct messaging with members and I within the Discord. You can also ask me questions live on spot via webinar. This is going to be the best value, the best offer we're ever going to have. This is the lowest price it's ever going to be. Like I said, we're not, like, in terms of the future, the price is only going to go up, and who knows, it might be an expensive recurring program one day. But the results that members have been getting, it's crazy, man. I have people tell me, like, just raise the price to 1,000. Like, what are you doing? Just raise the price to 1,000 already. Like, this is just way too low. I have people joining. They're making 10 times the cost of the program within the first week, and they're getting a lifetime value of education, of watch list, of daily live streams, of our insights, of the access to my community and me, right? So if you're looking for that lifetime access, if you're looking for the best deal possible, this is going to be it. It's the first link down below in the description. I'm looking forward to working with you. As soon as you join, you get instant access. It's a lifetime, and you can get started trading with us live at Market Open tomorrow. I will see you guys within Trader Society. The watch list will be sent out tomorrow morning.